What do you do when God is silent? When you've prayed, you've cried, but heaven seems shut tight and no answer comes. It's in these moments of desperation that people are tempted to do unthinkable things, things that lead them away from God and into the very heart of darkness. In the 1 Samuel 28, we find Saul, the first king of Israel, in just such a predicament. Facing the Philistine army, his enemies are closing in, and God is silent. Samuel, the prophet who had once guided him, is dead. The voice of the Lord, once so clear, now seems distant, and Saul, in his desperation, does the unthinkable. He turns to a witch. That's right. King Saul, the man anointed by God to lead his people, goes to consult a medium, the witch of Endor. Now, before you shake your head at Saul's foolishness, consider this. How often do people today, even Christians, seek answers from ungodly sources when God seems silent? We may not visit witches, but how many turn to horoscopes, psychics, or other forms of mysticism when they feel lost? Proverbs 14 verse 12 warns us, "There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death." And that's exactly where Saul was headed. But let's step back. How did it come to this? You see, Saul's life had been a pattern of disobedience. He had rebelled against God time and again. He had rejected the word of the Lord, and now the Lord had rejected him. In 1 Samuel 28 verse 6 it says, "And when Saul inquired of the Lord did not answer him, either by dreams or by Urim or by the prophets." But instead of repenting, instead of seeking God's mercy, Saul took matters into his own hands. He disguised himself because he had banned all mediums and spiritists from the land, and he sneaks off to Endor in the dead of night. He asks this witch to summon the spirit of Samuel the prophet. Now let me be clear. God strictly forbids consulting with the dead. In Deuteronomy 18 verses 10 to 12, the Lord says, "Let no one be found among you who practices divination or sorcery or who consults the dead. Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord." But Saul ignored the warnings. And here's where the story takes an even darker turn. The witch of Endor calls up Samuel, and to her shock and terror, Samuel actually appears. God, in his sovereignty, allows Samuel's spirit to come forth, not because of the witch's power, but to deliver a final chilling message to Saul. Samuel says, "Why do you consult me now that the Lord has turned away from you and become your enemy? The Lord has done what he predicted through me. The Lord has torn the kingdom out of your hands and given it to one of your neighbors, to David." 1 Samuel 28 verses 16 to 17. And then comes the terrifying prophecy. "Tomorrow you and your sons will be with me." In other words, Saul was going to die, and his dynasty would end. The gravity of this moment is overwhelming. Saul, once chosen by God to lead his people, now stands condemned, abandoned by the God he once served.